later on, in regards to the US as well, so we've got a little bit of stuff coming out just after 8 o'clock this evening. We've got initial job claims as well, ADP, non-farm employment change. So for the US, in regards to a USD yen trade setup, we've got a lot to pay attention to. So what I'll do now is I'll just share the chart here. So thanks to Sam Trade, I'll just bring up the USD yen here. So we've got the 4-hour time frame up here. And I just marked out, we do have a small trend line forming here. We've had a touch on it, and we are seeing a little bit of strength on the US dollar as well. So with regard to the events that are coming out as well, that, I'll be paying attention to, we have seen the US dollar, go below 90 on the index as well overnight after, not too much really happened. It was a muted session in equities as well. So I'll be paying attention to see what it does through this resistance level. If we can break out, that would be nice. And then in regards to the USD yen, we've seen, the major support and resistance levels are quite far here as well. So we do have a bit of an uptrend that's formed since it broke through 108.50. The next resistance level is 110.80 as well. So, my sentiment here is, and bias is more bullish. And what I'd be looking for is just a little bit of consolidation, and then I'd wait till this evening. The market has, taken on board the Japanese news that came out this morning. Wasn't particularly impactful. So I'd be just wanting to see, what price does here later this evening. And if we do get some decent numbers out of the US, especially, initial jobless claims would be forecast at 390,000. If we can get a beat on that. We've got some PMI stuff as well coming out at 9:45 in the evening, GMT +8. And then a little bit later at 10 o'clock, we've got the ISM non-manufacturing PMIs forecast at 63. So if we can get a beat on that. And it's been interesting to see the data come out of the US, and things are still looking like they're just a little bit sluggish. They're not catching up to the demand of the consumers that, for a while, they weren't really able to go out and work, and things are slowly returning back to normal. But with the index for the US dollar down where it is, it's quite sensitive to anything that's, better than expected. We could see a nice push high. So really where it's basing off now, I'll just get the crosshair up here. So, where it's basing off, we've had some recent resistance in the 109.80 here. So if we can get a small pullback, even around 10 pips or so, or even more, we've got 37.40 here. So 40 pip pullback, and we might see a bounce. But, what I really like to see is I like to buy into when we see a little bit of strength. So if we can just hold here sideways at around 109, it'd be nice. The stop loss, recent lows were at the 109.24. So we've got a little bit of a gap. I'd like to keep the stops around 30 pips as well. So we get a push here, let's say 109.70 as a potential entry. And then we go 30 pips below that 109.40. And then we've got a nice risk to reward here. That's, at least 100 pips or so. I mean, obviously, once we enter this area, we could see a reaction in a bearish sense. But, you want to monitor the trade as well. If it's pushed, beyond 40 pips in your favor, I typically like to take around half profits off as well. So that's the first trade idea for the USD yen. Now let's go to the pound yen. Now I've marked this up already for the pound yen. We've got 155.00 as a support area. So it needs to pull back a little bit. It has started to consolidate. If I get the 1 hour time frame up here, we've seen it a couple of times. It's come close. And if that's the case, I typically will enter. So if we get quite close to 155 flat, I'd see that as a nice buy trade entry as well. So now in regards to a stop, obviously we don't want it too tight, and we might enter at 155.10 after a bit of a bounce. Stop loss would be 30 pips below 155.10. So we'd be looking at a 154.80 or so would be the stop loss position. And then we'd be targeting back to 155.40 or so, where we've seen a little bit of resistance as well. So I'll just go and zoom out here. Let's go to the daily just to see where, and we've got quite a lot of room above here for a run. So the pound has exhibited quite a bit of strength as well. And it just seems that things are reopening effectively. Vaccinations are rolling out quite nicely with the UK. So those are my thoughts with the pound yen. So what we'll do now, we'll have a look at the euro yen as well. I've got this marked up here. So this is actually looking like we're going to have a test soon. So we've only got about 15 pips to go until we strike the resistance area at 134. So we've seen multiple attempts here at a breakout. We've seen a couple of fake outs as well. So it's an area where a lot of traders are watching. There's most likely a lot of selling and buying pressure going on here as well. So we just have to wait and see what the market does. But with what I've seen and we've got, I'll just go back to the calendar as well. We don't have a lot of Japanese news out. So we'll go back here thanks to the Forex Trading Asia economic calendar. So we've got Friday morning early, 7:30. We've got some household spending. So pay attention to that. And then for Europe, we do have the information coming out 4 o'clock this afternoon on the composite PMIs. So that, if we see a weakness there in those numbers, then that could really help fuel a catalyst to get in here. So, price action, and I'll just go back to the chart here now. So in regards to price action, I'd like to see if we do get a breach of this level, we come back down, and then if a candle closes near the low, that would be a nice point of entry for that on the euro yen. So we've just got to be a little bit patient. We have less than 5 hours to go on that. And then what I'll go to now is, let's have a look at the Aussie Yen. So we've seen, it's been interesting on the Aussie. Daniel and I were talking before the call started about, we've got, GDP data was quite good, although we did have, it was a little bit of a dovish sentiment out of the Reserve Bank of Australia with Governor Lowe and his comments on, what's going on with the reduction in asset purchasing. It still seems that it's still going to go on. So we've seen the Aussie sort of mixed in regards to its bias. But what I'll be watching for here is we've got a point of resistance that I've got at 85.14. I'll just zoom in a little bit more. So 85.14, we're currently trading it at around 84.10. So we don't have a lot more room to go here to see if we can get a test and a rejection. So the Aussie dollar still seems to be, even though we've got some strong catalysts, we've got iron ore up as well, over $200 a ton, which Australia exports a lot of iron ore. It just seems that if we can get a little bit more of a push here, that would be my short bias there, because we've seen, as the chart indicates, we've seen a couple of rejections. So we'd be entering at around 85.20, or maybe even 85.15 based on the price action. And then a target would be, we've seen some probably 84 flat. So that's, if we enter at, 85 low, we've got around 100 pips there. So that, again, it might take, a couple of days to get down there. But once we get through, we've seen a little bit of support at around, I'll just show you a little bit of support at 84.70. We can get a breakthrough there, that would be really nice as well. And that would be something that you could, move the stop loss to break even and just let the trade play out as well. So there's that. And then I'll just touch upon the New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen as well. So we've got the Kiwi, we've got it quite close to a support area, just, a recent support area. I've got the 1 hour time frame up here, and we've got 79.09. So again, it's around 10 pips to play it. So we've got a few pairs here, Euro Yen, we've got the Aussie Yen and the Kiwi Yen, all quite close to areas of opportunity. We've seen price action just flatten out a little bit. And in regards to the Kiwi, I'll just bring up again the news just to reiterate what exactly is going on. And I find it's just important to blend the fundamentals and technicals, like Jin has taught, because that's the catalyst that really moves price typically. So we've got Friday. There's not really much out on the Kiwi here at all. Again, I touched upon what's coming out tomorrow on the yen. So we'll just have to wait and see. It might just be a strictly technical play for a bounce for the New Zealand against the Japanese yen. But those are my thoughts, guys. Again, look out for the European news out this afternoon. And then tonight we've got jam-packed news for the US dollar as well. But those are my thoughts on the yen pairs.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. Okay, so remember, just put it in as well, a disclaimer. Any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. Now, today is a Thursday. I'll be speaking a little bit about gold as well, right? Gold is really a safe haven plate, where we can do. It has been strengthening for the past week. If you look at this for the daily chart, for the past week or so, since 4th of May, I'll probably say in a month, it has been strengthening, really moving upwards, where you see cryptocurrencies has been dropping, and stock markets are not doing too well. Really everybody is now going back, from cryptocurrency, everything going into the gold, and gold has finally exhibit again on the safe haven currencies platform, and it continues to move up. Now, really very interesting right now, it is holding at 1898, or let's say 1900 level, and it's being supported really very nice there, where you can see here. Now, let me move this away. I was expecting last week to drop down and come back up. It didn't. I was just planning here. But however, right now I think it's going to move across. And waiting for the, if any economic stimulus package, what's the really confirmation, like NFP coming on Friday, where the news comes in and it strengthened the US dollar, then it could continue to move. So else, right now I still think a possible bullish is still possible to happen. It will probably be supported at 1900 level coming in, and if it does breaks above, let me go look at the H4 time frame. Now you can see it's really very nice, supported at 1890 coming in. I have another resistance there about 1932, 1935 based on previous times. I will really think that if you can see it break above 1912, a possible uptrend coming in. And it's coming quite close, coming in, breaking towards the 1932 level. So this is something that you could take note of. But straight away, offhand, today, if anybody's looking at today and all the way to Friday, I'm going to tomorrow basically. I'm going to think that it's going to move across. It's not going to move anything. The market is going to be pretty slow, even forex market. And then if it breaks above 1912, you're going to see it break above. Breaking above and goes towards 1932. Right now, I don't really think it will drop back down. The less likelihood of dropping back down. If any, not so even positive news from the market as well, where the safe haven currencies will tends to be shifted risk on, risk off situation. I think it will still hover around here. Gold is still, I'm still looking for a long-term uptrend coming in, where gold will continue to strengthen up as the economy gets better. Okay, so that's something I'll look for, my views on what's going to happen on gold. Okay, so yeah, that's great. So again, we had just had the sessions yesterday night with all the LCMS Traders Club, where we have a live trading sessions. We had a lot of people, this why live trading sessions coming in? Because a lot of people were members were talking about there's no time to trade. So I don't have, because no time to trade, I only look at it and I only have about 10-20 minutes or even 1 hour. I don't know what to do, no time to prepare, and I'm not sure what to do. So really, so every Wednesday evening 8 p.m. we have a live trading sessions together with all the club members. We show the club members how we do preparations, know what to do based on the 5 steps analysis. So you don't have to be at the computer the whole day. Really all you need to do is come in, look at the market because 8 o'clock we have a preparation and know what possible trades to take and be profitable as well. Especially why 8 o'clock is because US market is going to open at 9 o'clock. You can do a preparations, you can take a trade. Then if there isn't a trade, you will really have already a medium term to long term trade you could be taking. And that's last night. Because we know that NFP is going to happen on a Friday, market tends to be very consolidated and doesn't really move too much. So we evaluated and came out with some trades. So when we look at the trades, going back to my charts here, we did look at the Aussie USD, as Scott has mentioned, is moving across. Not really a really very interesting thing, but we look at a short-term trade, and on the US yen, we think that US probably at that point in time will continue to strengthen, and it slowly moved up. Now resisting at the 109.66. Just give you a little bit of idea what we're looking at. We want to see it strongly break above that for a quick trade on a short-term basis. Because why? On a daily time frame, day trading, because on Friday you're going to have the NFP number, which could really affect all the US pairs. We also look at the various yen pairs, euro yen, trade moving across in the zone, not really interesting to do. We look at the New Zealand yen. It broke up. It didn't break above the 79.4, unfortunately. So the trade taken will quickly have a quick stop loss and take profit, get it out as well, because it didn't break out, but it really firms our analysis of where we could look for a resistance and support level here. So really, looking at it, it was really going to be it's been very beneficial to the members. Members love it a lot on how we do a preparation and come together as a community, trading together and making profits together. Where we can trade, even if we don't have time in the whole week, on Wednesdays, 1 hour time frame, we can trade together. Okay, that's all we have today. If you can come back tomorrow on Friday, where we talk about the the Canadian dollar and the cryptocurrencies. If not, see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.